How can a non-Jew, without Jewish friends or a Jewish community, stay strongly connected to HaShem when everyone around him is an idol worshiper? Change location. Learn Musar. Fix yourself. And the more you do, the more you fix yourself, the more Kadosh Baruch Hu is going to send you people that, one way or another, that are similar to you. I could tell you one story that's... I've said this story in my Shabbat table. Okay, that's how good this story is. It's such a good story. It's a real story, and I was able to witness it. And still witnessing it. It's one of my favorite stories. I don't even know if the people in the story know how much I love their story. Years ago, I was giving live lectures, and people come, and everybody, some people are noticeably Jewish, some people are not noticeably Jewish, and sometimes there's people that are non-Jews that come to the lectures. But you can't tell just by simply looking at people despite color, shade, height. Wait, it doesn't make it until you get to know them. And one of the people that came to lecture was someone that was already watching it online, came to the lecture, asked me questions, and really, really nice person. And becoming closer and closer, he asked me for guidance about different things over the years. And he lived here. And one of the things he wanted to do is he wanted to convert to Judaism. B'ezrat Hashem, everything they guide him the best that I can to convert. And he would be very dedicated to the lectures. Also helped us share Torah and online whenever he could. Same time, more or less, maybe a year or two before, or maybe around the same time, I don't remember exactly, somebody from what seems to be, to me at least, from the end of the world, a woman from Indonesia contacts me. She watches my lectures. She likes them. She wants to volunteer to help the organization. I said, it's wonderful. We need volunteers. We need as many of them as we could possibly get. Back then and today, especially if you have time, you have skills, you have whatever you have where we could use it. To be honest with you, I've told this time and time again. The best people in the organization are often the volunteers. Sometimes I'll see that an employee is working less hours than some of the volunteers. Can you imagine? Somebody that actually gets paid a salary works less than some of the volunteers. It's unbelievable. Because the volunteer, even though the employees all love the company and the lectures and everything that we do, at the end of the day, there's a certain element of benefit and also certain physicality there. So that part hurts a little bit of the passion that a person can have, especially if they do it for a long time. But a volunteer that works for free, it's 100% passion. It's 100% love of a Kadosh Baruch Hu, is Torah, and obviously the people that are spreading the message, spreading the truth. So volunteers are very special people, especially those that stay around for a while. And often we've turned, many of them have become employees, and good employees too. But anyway, this woman wanted to volunteer. She's at the end of the world. She's in Indonesia. Sure, want to volunteer. And she is, clever and smart and dedicated. Wonderful. One time to time, she asks a question about different things. One day, my student from here asked me a question about getting married. Should I get married now? Should I get married after I convert? And so on. So, okay, well, first you have to meet somebody. She says, well, I met somebody. I said, oh, Baruch Hashem, great. She met somebody. Does she also want to convert? He says, yeah, she wants to convert too. I said, great, so that's perfect, because if, that means you have a similar ideology. He goes, no, it's very similar. Well, great. She watched my lectures? He says, Rabbi, she watches all your lectures. I said, who is this angel? That's great. What's the chances? That's the chances. She says, no, Rabbi, she's on Team HaShem. I said, what? What do you mean? She's on Team HaShem. She's on the team. She's one of the people on Team HaShem, on Team Bezat HaShem. I said, Ishtabach Shimo La'ad. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe one of the other volunteers that's also in Florida, and this with this guy. Whoa! Oh, no. It's the woman in Indonesia. I said, are you kidding? How? How's that possible? He said, Rabbi, we worked on similar things to do kiruv, and then we started talking, and we saw that we like each other, and we've had this relationship, but through email exchange and messaging and calls and so on. Long story short, guys, this is like such a beautiful story, because he was in a position dealing with impossible things. But if his situation was impossible, hers was simply not possible. Not impossible, just simply not possible. Why? To even leave the country it requires a miracle just a little bit lower than Kriyat Yam Suf. But today, Baruch Hashem, they live together. They're living in America. They're, Baruch Hashem, very close students, very dear, very happy, serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu with Team Hashem, publicizing Torah, not just online, but also spreading the books and the USBs and the tablets, the kiruv boxes. And this couple, I think, is just such a beautiful story of how HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes one neshama that wants good and takes another neshama that also wants good. They both want the same thing. And he puts them together through impossible situations. There's more details to the story, but perhaps we'll do it maybe a chapter 2 for the story. But literally taking two people from the ends of the world and making them simply the most extraordinary thing. So, why? Once you have bracha, once you have blessing from Hashem, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Once you don't have bracha, nothing is possible. Everything you do, might as well throw it in the garbage. Why? It's spoiled before it even started. When something doesn't have bracha, when a person doesn't have bracha, doesn't make a difference whether they're profitable, not profitable. They make, they don't make. The end result is a disaster. When you have bracha, the end result is always good, even if it looks ugly, even if it looks impossible, even if the lawyers tell you it's you're never going to be able to leave the country, even if the people, friends, who, whatever, tell you this is never going to happen. Doesn't make a difference. Why? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with you. When you have bracha, everything is possible. There's no limitation. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has no limitation. When you don't have bracha, doesn't make a difference what you have. It's practically acquiring more curses. Why? You're acquiring the future pains today. So, bracha rabotai is what we should be praying for, and what we should be yearning for, and what we should be changing for. Because if you don't have bracha now, that means that you need to change. You need to change. And yes, this is a story that I think I'm the biggest fan of this story. Biggest fan of this couple. They're such a beautiful couple, wonderful people, and they both just simply miracles. Miracles. Baruch Hashem. Sat Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, continue blessing them. To have a lot of nachat, atzlacha, all the good things in the world, B'ezrat Hashem. Continue. Hi, Rabbi, I would love to volunteer. What skills are needed and who do I contact? You can. It's not a matter of what skills are needed. It depends what you have. If you have specific skills, we could perhaps utilize those skills. For example, if you're good with graphics, or you are able to develop apps, those are skills we can use. If you're a lawyer, we can use. If you're a doctor, at times some people need to use. But if, let's say, for example, you don't have any of those, but you're able to share our lectures online, then you could, join the team and, coordinate with everybody where you're going to share. If you're able to edit videos, if you're able to make certain posters, if you're able to do different things, then you could simply reach out to me, send me a message. The best thing to do is to send me a WhatsApp, tell me who you are and what skill sets, abilities you have that you want to contribute, and I'll try to figure out which part of the team you could help the most, whether it's the English team, the Spanish team, the Russian team, the Portuguese team, French team, and so on and so forth. It could also be AI Rabbi team or some of the other apps we're developing. Again, it depends on the skill set. But really the big thing that you need is, number one, you need time, because if you don't have time, even if you have a lot of skills, it's worthless. You don't have time, you don't have time. And two, you have to be very, very passionate about what we're doing. If you have those two things, then certainly we could use you. We are meant to be a light unto the nations, not to follow their misguided practices. Remember, every Jew has to remember that he's a Jew and she's a Jew. We don't celebrate non-Jewish holidays, even if they seem harmless. It's a zilzul, disrespect to the Torah,